than it already has been said.
What? What do you mean?
We are back on the air. Sham was just talking about feeding Stokes his ego. I think we should see where that story's going.
Hello.
Whoa, whoa, drip face.
All right, boys. Here's what's going on tonight. We have live stream commentary on AFL. I don't know if it's going to hold up. I don't know if my computer's going to crash, but we're going to be here as long as it'll let us. This is Josh, Stokes, and Sham. Big stakes tonight, boys. If Reese wins, Reese makes the playoffs. If Reese loses, RVD makes the playoffs. Patriots are 6-9, but don't let that record fool you. Vane has won 5 games in a row against Reese and beat him pretty handily early in the season. So, guys, before we start this game kicking off, it's at the load screen right now. Just quick predictions. Who you got tonight, Stokes?
I gotta go with the Dolphins. I mean, I just think that this is Reese's time. This is incredibly important in their rivalry. So,
Sham, who you like tonight?
Honestly, I'm going to go. I'm going to go with. I might go with. I don't want to go with Vane just because, you have to throw everything out there. I mean, Vane doesn't even give a shit. He's going to, whatever penalty, suspension he get, that comes with whatever he does. Like dude just doesn't give a shit. That this rivalry is real. Hatred is real.
Well, as you can see, the game is loading up. Looks like Reese is getting the ball first. So we're not going to do like full-fledged commentary. We can, little things here and there. But guys, I think there's a lot of pressure on Reese in this game tonight. This guy, he talks a lot. I think he's an enjoyable guy. I enjoy his presence quite a bit. But the reality of the situation is, if you want attention, you're going to get attention. Reese gets attention. And his situation here is he needed to win 2 out of his last 3 games to get into the playoffs. One of those was a layup. It was a force win against Luka. Reese had 2 other opponents on his schedule. Pick 6 and Vane, both under 500, both not going to the playoffs. Already lost pick 6. If Reese loses tonight to Vane at home against the team that's going to win 6, well, they'll win 7 games if Reese loses. That's a bad look for a guy that likes to talk about trying to approach that elite class. Agree, Stokes?
yes, that vert life starting out.
Right off the bat, Reese comes out 5 wide with the verts. Matt Vane, these are 2 of my division rivals, and what you're going to notice here is Vane does not do a lot of tricky stuff on defense. I think he calls a lot of stock plays. Reese is coming out in that wildcat. He didn't have much success against me with that, but I've seen him shred some defenses with it this season. Good start for Reese. 2 plays in, you're already past the 50. Not a bad start in a pressure-packed game. Sham, do you like Reese in a pressure-packed situation, or do you think he's the guy that might tend to put too much pressure on himself?
I think it. I think he does put in a lot of unnecessary pressure on himself. I don't listen. I'm not going to front. I like somebody that talks shit. But against someone like pick this Madden. Well, this is the only Madden that he's been in the AFL, but other than the restart last year. But he's shown that when the chips are there, it's just like he can't catch him in. Pick has had his number all this. What 4? Is there 0-4 against Vane? Pick.
He's lost his last 5 games against Vane. Stokes, you've said something to me privately about Reese. I know you won't mind me saying. I think a fast start is important tonight, especially with all eyes on this game, his season on the line. You think Reese is a guy that is a good front runner, but may not be as good when he's from behind.
Absolutely, I think that if he makes a mistake early, he will end up making more mistakes and then more mistakes because he feels more comfortable playing from ahead. And I know most of us do, but I think Reese is one of the most front runners that I know. I saw him miss that slant.
Unfortunate drop, and we got a big play early, guys. As Stokes said, Reese needs to get a lead early. You don't want to end up punting on your first drive of the game. Looks like he's going to pick up the first down with a nice little flat route there. I couldn't see who the receiver was on that play, but Tannehill 2 for 3 for 30 yards. Looks like he found Jordan Cameron there in the flat. I was expecting him to have white arms, and he has black arms because he got sleeves on. Reese is going to spread you out. He's not a guy that comes out in a lot of base personnel. He likes to have multiple receivers on the field. Even from running formations, he likes to have multiple receivers on the field. He doesn't have that speed, blazing threat like he had in Arizona. So this vertical play that he just torched Vane with,
Good move.
Cameron gets down to the 12-yard line.
That vert life.
Vert life. 2 verts so far on the first drive. Why so serious? Stokes, this game means something to you too because you're either going to play Reese or RVD.
Yes, indeed. I don't know. As I told you, I would rather play Reese. RVD just matches up with me well for some reason, and the last 2 times I've played Reese in the playoffs, I've beaten him. So I like that going in my favor. What are you?
Oh,
Hunt?
Oh my God, he had somebody open over the middle.
Yeah, he was butt naked in the middle of end zone.
Manages to get the touchdown anyway. Vane's user just bailed on the middle of the field. I thought for sure he was going to give up a touchdown on over the middle, but he ends up finding a guy in the flat. 7-0 right off the jump from the Dolphins. Good job by Reese to get on the board first, take some of the pressure off, but I expect points to be aplenty in this game tonight.
I would love to see. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if Reese gets in, it's cool. But I like to see RVD's defense against Stokes' offense.
It could be a low-scoring game.
No, definitely. It's surprising that RVD is actually fighting for a playoff spot as opposed to owning that division because that defense is ridiculous.
RVD's had a really good year. He beat E-Dub. He smashed SJR week 17 to put himself in position to get in with a Reese loss. He had a last-second win against Trump. He's had a really good season. He had a disappointing loss to me. If he doesn't end up making the playoffs, there's going to be several stumbles along the way that he's going to look back and kick himself. But it's been a fun season for the Texans. We'll see if it continues after this game, as now Vane comes out for his first drive of the game. And boom, right off the bat, gets sacked by Reese. Mario Williams with the sack, making some noise as Vane tries to get that tight end cross. And Reese seems to be liking this man coverage as of late. We'll see if Vane can adjust.
Yeah, that T cross was going to kill him if he didn't get the pressure. But yeah, if you get the pressure, that's it.
Pressure bust pipes, right, Stokes?
That's right.
That's a wise man's PSN slogan used to tell me.
Do any of you guys have this problem where you're on like a linebacker or something and you're strafing and then he just freezes?
Yeah, I use the D line, so I don't.
I was gonna say, Sham.
I was about to make a big joke about that one. Go ahead.
Sham usually grabs a snack on defense. All right, so 3rd and 15. This would be a big stop by Reese because not only would he force Vane to go 3 and out on his first drive, he would look to have good field position barring a catastrophe of a punt return.
Yeah, the wind is against Vane as well.
I will say one thing. I don't like Reese's chance if he falls behind tonight. I absolutely hate Vane's chances if he falls behind tonight. This becomes a 14 or 21-point game. I think Vane might start chewing clock and just get to the offseason. Oh, big first down stick. Finds a poster out there. That's the beauty of having Tom Brady is you can throw routes like that and they go right on the pinpoint. Is that Reese's boy, Nelson?
Yep.
J.J. Nelson?
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't that be quite a bit of irony if he's the reason that he's out?
So I'm going to make an observation here, but before I do, I'm going to see if it holds true after the next couple plays. Vane with the flat route. You're going to see a lot of flat routes tonight.
Chill.
Reese has had a tough week in Madden. He got smashed over the weekend in a money game against Hahn.
What was the final in that one?
It wasn't close. It was like 38-14 or something like that. It was close for a while, and then it just, how Hahn games go. Hahn figures out what you like to do and then suffocates you.
I mean, did he remember that one year, Josh, where Hahn got called out for calling wheels route for on every play?
Yep, I do.
Was it one of those type of games?
Hahn didn't mix up his play calling a ton, but I don't think they had a gentleman's agreement that they were going to play by AFL rules. So,
yeah, Reese went into it thinking it was going to be a sim match, but I mean, obviously, he obviously didn't know who Hahn was, and he didn't know, what Hahn's about. So, I mean, that's a minor mistake.
3rd and 7 here. See if Vane can get open against man. Oh, knocked away. Good job by the Dolphins. The good thing about Vane tonight is when you have nothing to lose, you can play balls out, and I would expect Vane to take advantage at some point of his free fake punt, fake field goal opportunity in this game.
Absolutely.
Good punt, considering he's against the wind. So we'll see what Reese has in store for his second drive. The thing I've seen Vane say about Reese is, first couple drives, you're hard to stop. Once I figure out what you're doing, you don't adjust. We'll see if Vane's theory holds true.
Oh.
Reese is coming out with a little bit of base personnel. Looks like tackle over. Couldn't get the blocking.
Reese just can't run the ball. He's not an effective runner.
Part of being an effective runner, I think, Stokes, is just having the will to stick with it. Like 2nd and 11, you'll still run on 2nd and 11. A lot of guys that aren't comfortable with running, 2nd and 11 is a throwing down.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's one of the big keys. I think a lot of people end up, they have one drive where the guy loses a yard. They don't pass for the whole drive. They don't run for the whole drive, and that's what I think is a pretty big important thing. That was a good play.
Yeah, PA buckshot over the middle. Right now, it looks like Vane's strategy is to come out and play man, and Reese has the answers right now. It looks like he's in that double sticking knot again, but he's hot routing his tight end to a curl. Sticking route. Triple coverage, Reese. Got to be better than that. Interception.
Wow.
I love that. Obviously, I don't love it when it happens to me, but I love that new animation that came in this year with the tip pass interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Happened to me a lot last game against you, jerk.
Don't blame me. Blame my thumbs. Nothing but love, Sham. All right, Reese in the man coverage. Man coverage against shotgun snugs. Very dicey situation, as guys can pop open very easily against man coverage and snugs. And you see there, Vane abuses the corner. And just like that, interception, big play, and the Patriots are in business.
Yeah, I immediately get out of man anytime there's a tight formation like that.
That's a Vane money play right there. That slot receiver on the right, if you don't user him, he will roast you over the middle. So maybe that's what Reese was keen on. Second and 12 here.
So are you excited about having a bye, Josh?
Most definitely. I mean, it's like Stokes has been saying all year. It's one less chance to lose. I mean, we keep talking about how good the NFC is, and it's as loaded as I can remember a playoff field being. That goes back to the years of Ridge. Wow. Vane will dot up some zone defense. Just like that. 7-yard line as we're winding down here in the first quarter. I'm looking forward to these playoffs. I think it's really anybody's tournament.
Absolutely. I'm very excited for the entire playoffs. I mean, I hope I play 4 games in the playoffs, but we'll see what it goes.
Well, we got 9 guys watching Reese's stream, which tells me we're not getting a lot of viewership on our little broadcast here. So
that's unfortunate.
It's all right. They're missing out some very, very incredible commentary. Vane's coming out in the goal line. I expect a dive here or a quarterback sneak, maybe the toss. One of those 3 plays for sure. Bet my life on it.
Shoot the guy.
Whoops.
Wow. Good thing I didn't bet my life.
Good thing.
Power O, just simple, basic football. Patriots 7-7 here at the end of the first quarter. We got a game. Just like that. Tipped interception. Couple big plays. See how Reese can respond. A little adversity, Stokes.
All right.
A little question, Josh. How do you feel about the NXT invading WWE?
Is that happening right now?
Kind of, sort of.
Spoiler alert: I haven't been watching Raw, so I'll probably see it on Wednesday or Thursday when I fast forward through it. But I'm all for it. They need to get those guys on the show. They're the future of the product.
Yeah.
Hopefully Shane McMahon sticks around for a while. All right, so Vane's coming out. Both of these guys are coming out in quarter defense a lot.
Well, that's been Reese's thing for most of the season. Well, since when I played him, it was like that. So I guess that's been his thing. Not just.
Roman says the stream is a little blurry.
That's to be expected. It's kind of like it's kind of like back in the day when you used to like have a VHS. Yeah, these guys are gonna have not have a clue what I'm talking about. Like a VHS, and then you made a copy of the VHS. It's just a copy of a copy. So that's cool, guys. I mean, you might be a little delayed with our commentary. I don't blame you. I couldn't watch a blurry screen either. So, thanks for letting us know, though, Roman.
I know what you're talking about, buddy. I go as far back as Betamax.
There you go. Sham was
Old
around when
people.
Kennedy was shot.
Shut up, Stokes.
All right, so nice little answer drive here by Reese. Still has, it looks like, I think Reese is against the wind here, so still has about 20 yards to go before he's probably in comfortable field goal range. Nobody open. He's going to take off. Tannehill's got underrated wheels. These are some of the ugliest uniforms you'll ever see.
Agreed. Squish the fish.
Squish the fish.
Ew.
Oh. Landry's going to be wide. Oh, didn't even throw it to him. Vane's going to have to make some adjustments on defense. Because Reese is killing these stock plays he's running. At least throw something different in there. Even if you don't know what you're doing, make it up. Reese is going to try to run the ball, so we'll let you know what happens on 2nd and 12. I feel like the Little Giants movie. 2nd and 9. We gained a yard.
Yeah. Start dancing. I love that movie.
Great movie. A friend of mine was in that movie.
Really?
She was an extra in the crowd. She works with me. So she
Nice.
didn't have like a starring role or anything.
No, she wasn't Icebox. No,
Yeah, she was not Icebox, that's for sure.
it's unfortunate.
Icebox was a badass.
Mm-hmm.
They should make an Icebox mutt card.
Just like 4'11".
Wouldn't that be cool if they made mutt cards for some of the best like movie football characters of all time, like Steamin' Willie Beeman?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great idea.
Give it time, Mutt will come up with it. If they can make money off it, they'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Third and 4 here.
On Daddy Leagues, they have a thing where they're asking questions about how can we improve 7, going into 17. How can they improve it?
Tackle.
Yeah, the tight end coming across open.
He did. He passed it out. So 4th and 3. So by AFL rules, I forget the AFL. He has to kick it here. Yeah.
I mean, but does it really matter when it's Vane and Reese?
Yeah, that's true. All right, so here's the situation, fellas. Reese got the ball to start the game. He's up by 3. Vane has a drive with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left. Best case scenario for Vane, scores a touchdown, goes into half with the lead and the ball. Best case scenario for Reese, forces a 3 and out, scores again before halftime. So these end of half situations very regularly come back to decide the game. How you handle these situations, whether you're extra aggressive or whether you handle the clock right, can definitely be the difference between winning and losing.
Could not agree more.
Vert life.
That drag route.
Nasty. Reese is staying in man. Oh.
And live or die with your principles, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Inside zone. See what he has here out of the pistol. I wouldn't think Tom Brady would be a read option threat. Nice read there by Vane. Mm-hmm. 44-yard line. If he still has Gostkowski on his team, which I think he does, he's probably, if not already in field goal range, very close with the wind at his back. So this is what I'm talking about, though, guys. There's no reason for Vane to hurry up here. Take your time. Make this the last possession. For Reese, keep an eye on it. You guys start burning timeouts to get another possession. Yeah, there's only so many times Reese is going to give him that flat route.
But he had someone open over the middle if he was patient.
I think a lot of these guys, and I'm probably guilty of it too at times, but are just, you talk about half-field read quarterbacks in the NFL, and the guys that can't scan the whole field. I think that applies to Madden too. Some of these guys, I think, almost predetermine who they're going to throw the ball to before the play's even snapped.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for us to watch the game and say, oh, see, he had him open. I mean, when we're not worried about the pressure, 'cause
Exactly.
we're not on the sticks.
I mean, he may have been drawing up a play for his running back there in the flats and was, totally thrown off by the fact that Reese had a light blue out there. So you just never know what's going through somebody's mind, especially Vane. Good Lord.
Good cut.
I mean, I know I'm guilty of it, and like I know when I have my better games, whether I win or lose. I know it's when I'm making all the, going through all my progressions.
This is a huge play, guys. 3rd and 5. I think it's going to determine whether Reese gets another shot on offense in this half. And he did chew clock. So Vane showing some good end of half awareness. We'll see if he can pick up the first down. Monster play coming up. Gets the toes down, and the Patriots move the chains.
That's a good hedge with the chew, just in case he didn't get it.
Now, if he were going to pull a classic Josh, he would forget he left chew clock on, and then in about a play or two, he'll look up at the clock and there'll be 15 seconds left. I have done that way too many times.
Indeed.
Although it could be worse. I could have done it in a playoff game. What's up, Cheese? Oh, man.
That's excellent.
That's JD's favorite play. That play is brought to you by Jeremiah Dickerson. When I say it's his favorite play, I mean he loves defending it. He thinks it's very unique and nobody calls it.
No one earlier in Madden, Reese was the first person I saw use it. I was like, damn, how is this tight end getting so wide open out there?
I guess Cheese is probably watching our stream because he just mentioned me in a comment, and I'm guessing he didn't like the playoff reference. Okay, what's the flag here? This could be big. Holding against the offense. Yep. Cheese is flipping me off. What's up, Cheese? So back to the 32 here. What do you do if you're Reese here, Stokes? Do you play a little aggressive, thinking even if he scores, it's not the worst thing in the world because you get a chance with the ball, or do you just do whatever you can to keep him out of the end zone?
I'd probably just do what he does and call a cover 2 man. I mean, you figure, I mean, he's got 3 timeouts, so if he can get this 3 and out, he's going to give up 3, but he's going to have an opportunity to go down and score, hopefully.
2nd and 24 is definitely a defensive down and distance. That's for
I'd
sure.
also take into account my corners, what their penalty rating is. If they're not disciplined, I probably wouldn't even press them.
That's true. That's a great point. Coming out in cover 3 against Vane, looks like no adjustments are made. This can end up really bad for Reese. Bold statement here, but I'm just throwing it out there, guys. I mean, I do what I do. I do what I do.
Well, there you go.
You forgot about Dre. Boom! Nailed it. All right. Now it's Reese's serve, and I would venture to say, Stokes, this is a must-score situation, at least getting a field goal before half.
But he's got to get extra yards, too, considering the wins against them. So, with him not getting the ball at half, I think this is absolutely a must-score drive. And this is the type of thing that gets Reese in trouble.
Coming out must-scoring, maybe forcing a pass, and then Vane all of a sudden goes up 21-10 with the ball, and
absolutely.
Oof. I'm getting nervous for him.
Close HB will.
This is why I don't win Super Bowls. I'm getting nervous for a guy. Oh, that could have been picked, too. I'm getting nervous for a game that I have no stake in. That is a very effective play. It spreads out your zone. It also beats your man.
Yep.
Guess that's why I see it every game. And run it every game. All right. Reese with little drag action. He's only got 1 timeout, though, so smart move on his part to get out of bounds. And already over the 50.
The Eagles flood coming.
So, Stokes, I have a question for you. What are your thoughts on the I don't know if it was yesterday with Josh and Costa with the Odell Beckham and Sammy Watkins conversation?
Oh, Lord.
I'm sorry?
How do you feel about that argument about who's better?
Well, you know me. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan till I die.
I mean,
And
but I don't want to. I asked you because I didn't want to feel like you would have been a homer with me asking the question.
oh, well, I mean, when I'm watching, I mean, I see Sammy do. See, I see them both do amazing things. So it's hard for me to disparage one of them. And hell of a
Oh shit!
throw,
Oh shit!
hell of
Major,
a throw.
major throw, major play for the Dolphins season is there is heartbreak right now in Houston.
That slot streak versus C3.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was saying. Uh, if I had to choose, I'm gonna take Sammy Watkins. I think he can. I think he can do more. I think he's also more level headed than Odell Beckham.
I would expect Giants fans to be happy with the guy they got, obviously, and I'm very happy with Watkins. Like I said yesterday, the statistics, they probably will never match up as long as the Bills are a run-first offense that is more conservative and the Giants are pass-happy. I think Costa may have said it best. I think both of these guys are probably going to be top 5 wide receivers in the next 5 years or so. So, both teams should be happy. The Bills did give up a king's ransom to get Watkins, but if you get a star, you get a star. 14 seconds left. We're going to see if Vane's going to be aggressive. Reese with a basic cover 2-man shell. And Vane,
That was a stupid throw.
yeah.
That should have been picked. That was a dumb throw.
I was getting ready to say right before he threw it, there's no harm here in just chucking one up, seeing if I can get an aggressive catch animation for you. The one thing I definitely wouldn't have done is throw a little 10-yard pass across the middle late.
When he was double cup. Damn, Vane.
Vane might be content to take this to halftime. Oh, throwing it up. Oh. That's all right. No harm, no foul as long as Reese doesn't return this. And an entertaining half. First half, 17-14 Patriots. Nobody really with the advantage.
Dolphins.
Oh, yes, 17-14 Dolphins, excuse me. Reese would have been in a little bit of a jam had he not gotten that touchdown at the end of the half. But hold serve, takes the lead into halftime, 3-point lead. Vane gets the ball. Now the pressure's on the Patriots to see if they can get a score coming out of half. There's my favorite spin move, Stokes.
Is it?
I love the spin move.
Yeah.
I love guys that just get into a hole and they just spin. It's like,
Hey man, what's the worst that could happen, right?
I think the spin move's effective, but I think there's some guys that think that's the only way to make a tackler miss. It's like, if you test that little right stick out, it can be your friend.
Whoa.
Play with your right stick, buddy.
I just saw the Cody comment. Sham was alive when JFK got shot.
Yeah.
I feel like Cody may have heard me say that earlier. I did say it on the podcast. Sorry, Sham.
Alive. Sham was doing his memoirs. When JFK got shot.
Sham was pulling the trigger. All right, so... Oh, getting a little no-huddle action out of Vane here. You see that about once or twice a game out of him. Sometimes it can come out of frustration. I don't know. We'll see how you can adjust here. What I don't want to see Vane do is come out no-huddle and run the exact same play because that's what a guy like Reese will just eat up. To me, this looks like a run. Did I call that or what?
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
He is living dangerously out there.
It looked like Reese got that.
Definitely lucky on that play.
This is the kind of thing, though, where
Willy-nilly.
if you're Reese and a couple plays like that go against you, you're just thinking, man, season on the line. Can I get one, Madden? Can I get one? Toss to the outside. Can he get blocks? Nope, no blocks. But he did spin. That helps. Reese is bottling up the run.
Well, if he wins, I don't know if that's going to happen next week.
I would venture to say it won't. Don't worry, fellas. Post game, we're gonna get Stokes' thoughts on whoever he's playing.
I'm going to be very respectful, as always.
Unless it's Reese. Oh, cover 3 again. No adjustments. This could end up bad for him.
Oh.
Oh. And
Sam?
bad by him, I mean Vane.
Damn.
More heartbreak city in Houston as the Dolphins have a chance here to really grasp control of this game with a solid offensive drive here. Looks like Reese is coming out with a little 5 wide action. Going to try to spread that defense out and see if he can find a hole. I didn't mean that in a perverted way.
Vert life.
Comes out with the verticals. Cameron. To my naked eye, well, never mind. I'm not wanting to give in tips here before the playoffs. Just say I don't like the way that Reese handled that situation. All right, snug situation. Looks like he's going to try to go corner or streak to Stills. Corner's wide.
Vane, get out of man when you see that. Ugh. Jeebus.
This is the kind of thing, and Vane's not really a complainer. Well, I guess he kind of is, but just in general, when guys complain like, all he does is run corner routes. Well, if you're going to run man with no adjustments and somebody's in snugs, they're going to run corner routes because who's not going to take a free completion? I'm not telling you that zone shuts down snugs, but I am telling you that there's certain things in football that will work against other things, and if you refuse to adjust, don't expect your opponent to. Here comes tackle over again. Last time we got a toss out of this. Looks like the left side might be appealing to Reese. He goes right, gets stuffed.
Oh,
Running weak side is not always bad, fellas. You were saying something, Sham?
Oh yes, FYI guys, Wilkerson will be on the block at season's end.
On the Bills. All right, we'll see if Vane has finally figured out how to cover the stick and nod.
Wow.
Doesn't look good.
Could have been a pick if J.B. Collins was paying attention.
His running back Perkins was wide open.
Does Reese have it in him to run a fake punt here? Or who has the wind?
4th and 4. Oh,
Reese is thinking about it. I think he's going to pull it out of it. Oh, what's he doing here?
Oh.
He's gonna kick this thing. So he has the wind at his back, but it's not a true wind at your back. This could be a huge turning point in the game if he misses this kick. If he makes it, meh. He's going a little strong to the left there.
Yeah, the wind is not strong. I don't think it's strong enough to push it back.
7 miles per hour, Reese, not 70. Reese is just going to take a delay game and punt it. That's a good move. I would not have liked the field goal there. The upside of going up 6 isn't worth the downside of a midfield possession. Especially when your defense has been playing well the last couple drives.
I'm surprised Vane hasn't been spamming Nelson.
I would have expected that, but hey.
Oh, disappointing punt though. Real disappointing. If only we had kick arc. Shout out to the guys in PS4.
Oh, kick arc. Ugh. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
All right, cover 3. Brady with 14 and 19 for 220, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Solid, not great. Madden-wise, pretty average. Reese is living in this quarter 137. I guess maybe he doesn't feel like Vane's a threat to run, and based on the stats, that seems like a good scouting report. Reese is pressing, which tells me he's probably in man.
Ran to the wrong side on that one.
Cover 2 sink. How much does it bother you, Stokes, when you watch somebody call a run play and not run it to the side that's just screaming for you to run it to there?
It really irks me because I don't understand how people aren't seeing what I'm seeing. I mean, so it just bothers. Oh gosh, it bothers me.
Uh-oh. Game changer. Mario Williams is showing up. Had a sack earlier, and now gets a fumble recovery. I couldn't see who got the sack earlier. Might have been Sue. I don't know. Cross drag. Now, this is the moment. Dolphins get a touchdown here. It's going to be really hard for the Patriots to come back. Patriots need a defensive stand. Got to give credit to Reese. He's having a solid day passing. Hasn't made the mistake yet. Has had a couple throws where you thought maybe it was a dicey decision, but he's avoided that mistake. If he can punch it in here, he's going to be sitting pretty as far as trying to get into the tournament. And how about when a guy makes a cut that doesn't make any sense with the blocking, Stokes?
I don't know. Just everything about the run game when people aren't good at it, it just bothers me. But I mean, their loss is my game.
I don't like the defensive matchups on the field right now. I think Reese is going to find some. Okay, I'm just going to stop predicting things.
Stokes, are you using the game genie?
Yes, Game Shark actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I started up before I start Madden, and then I asked them to raise my run blocking and stuff like that, raise my stick skills, all that stuff.
3rd and 7. Looks like he's got a corner and a post right on the right and a slant on the left.
2 slants.
If Vane doesn't protect the middle. Oh, Vane, no reward there, but he did protect the middle and holds Reese to a field goal. Big stop there. Would have liked to see, for Vane's sake, to get that rewarded with a user play, but still keeps him off the board, keeps it a one-possession game. Patriots got to get something going on offense, though. They haven't had any answers for the Dolphins' defense the last 3 drives. He's out of mulligans now because the next time Reese scores, it becomes a 2-possession game.
Unless he gets to safety.
Gotta love pulling it out of the end zone 9.5 yards deep.
He got back to the 20 at least.
That's true.
How about that?
I'm such a pansy, though. Like, I'll take a knee at like a half a yard deep. Like, probably not worth the fumble.
Hey man, I don't return enough for touchdowns, so I have no problem taking the ball to 20. You can fumble.
Yep. I lost a playoff game a couple years back to Cheese by fumbling a kickoff return in overtime, and ever since then I've been gun shy. What do you got, Vane?
Oh my god.
Well,
bro. I mean, you had 1-on-1 deep. You could have at least done that. You just can't do that. Not if you're trying to win. You can't do that.
Question, guys: are Cheese and playing? Do they have a set time?
Why did he not pitch it?
So.
I don't know if they have a set time or not. Is that game important as far as?
It is not.
Okay. Not to mention, I don't think Cheese even knows if he wants the 1 seed or the 2 seed at this point.
No, I was just wondering because Cody had asked me if this was the last game. So.
It's not the last game. KJ and Nino are kicking off soon, I believe.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that game means a whole lot except for the number 1 seed.
I think they're playing after Reese's. Whoa.
Picked off. Terrible throw by Reese. I don't know, man. Neither one of these guys are taking advantage of the numerous opportunities the other one is giving them.
Agreed. This is just sloppy play.
That stuff, what Reese just did. If Stokes, if your pet peeve is, okay, we're gonna see a wide receiver. Son of a bitch! I'm gonna turn off this stream if another guy throws a pass to the chest of the other team. Stokes, if your pet peeve is guys not recognizing favorable running situations when they're blatantly obvious or following blocks, mine is guys not understanding score situation. Reese needed a field goal there to grasp control. Touchdown would have been great. Get it to 2 possessions. Why you would throw any kind of a risk when you're on the verge of field goal range drives me nuts. But he's going against Vane, who apparently is equally nuts.
I'm sure he wants to beat him by 8 million points, but I mean, you still got to win the game.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes the pressure of the moment, like, guys are watching, it's the game of the week, everybody's paying attention. You want those style points, but hey, give me 0 style and a W, I'll be happy every time.
Wow.
Toes down?
Yes.
Wow.
Jeez.
Reese's.
Challenging.
Reese is going to throw the old proverbial red flag. I don't think it's going to go his way, though.
Waste of a timeout.
That's going to come back to haunt you, Reese.
Man, that was a good throw. I hate Tom Brady.
Brady life.
I hate that.
Tyrod would have had that going into a cheerleader's head.
What the?
Oh wow!
Was that a screen? It had to be a screen.
No, that was a drag to the tight end, to which the running back saved an interception because Reese was all over it, and the running back just apparently he knew what was going down.
I'd love to see Nino's reaction if he's watching this right now.
He can't be enthused because he's thrown 8-9 interceptions all year.
This reminds me of like a shadow stream whenever he gets so pissed when his guys wouldn't make the play, but it's like, okay, dude, you're in cover 2 zone and they're going 4 verts. Toss city, and the spin works.
How about that?
I forget who has. Okay, this is important. I forget who has the win, but if Vane knows the answer to that, whether he calls a play in the next 20 seconds would be uber vital to that. I take that back. The win was kind of a crosswind, wasn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah. Vane's coming out 5 wide. I imagine him. He's probably going to throw it right to Reese's chest again. Wide open. Who's 81? Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah. He snuck in.
Yeah. He shot out there.
Oh, no.
Too soon.
So your thoughts on, have you guys been reading up on the story on Will Smith, his shooting?
Sad. Very sad. I mean, I've heard that the suspect is saying that, we don't know the whole story, which I always think is true. Great play, great read there. It's one of those things where it's like you got a dad who's dead, who had 3 kids. He got killed in front of his wife. You don't know the situation, but whatever the situation is, it's just really sad.
I was reading something. I think it was on Bleacher Report, and there was something to the effect of, "Oh my God, wide open in the end."
Oh my, yeah.
It was wide open.
Who was dumber on that play? Reese for calling run commit, or Vane for throwing it to the one guy who was covered?
How about we just figure it out to both of them?
Oh my God. I understand you panic right there, but damn, man.
Prime knows what that's about, though. He had that happen against Nino. Tight end cross.
Goodness gracious.
This is not a banner night for our division, Sham.
Hey, listen, who am I to talk? I'm at the bottom.
Hey, you started from the bottom, now you're here?
Yeah, right. So, no, I was reading the report, and it was saying that Will Smith was out to dinner with the cop that actually shot the guy's father or something like that.
Oh, I thought I read something about that. Yeah, that's... I don't know.
Wow.
Boom. So we've seen that drag under the out and up, 12 times this game?
That's fair.
Solid.
Vane still doesn't know that it's coming, and Reese still calls it with pride. All right.
Holding. Bring it back.
Yeah, I was going to say that better be holding because there's not a Patriot on the screen. You know what's probably a good time for? A drag under an out and up. Not a drag, I'm sorry. A slant.
He seems to tight end on the slant on almost every play.
It's an effective move because it can be a quick read to let you know if they're in man coverage.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's... I know a lot of guys do it. I don't think it's worth it to waste one of the easier targets to get the ball to. Granted, you're probably open if the guy on defense doesn't know it's coming, but like if you do that against a guy like Nino, he's going to be dead because his user's going to be all over it.
I have a question for you guys. With the, I guess, the overuse, and I know this is something that we talked about earlier in the season, earlier in 17. How are you guys? Is there any conversation about how you guys are going to go about cracking down on guys and I guess the abuse of certain plays in 17?
I don't know if we've had that conversation. Quite honestly, we don't really, unless it becomes like a full-fledged issue. Mm-hmm. We don't really like to dictate what guys can call. It's more of a, call, adjust, call. But, we use common sense, too. If a guy's completely abusing a play or a scheme or a concept, then we'll step in. But it's not a conversation we like to have. I think that's kind of something that separates us from the other leagues is we still want guys to be able to play their style. And there's a certain, like, if you want me to stop it, stop me from doing it aspect. But
No, I know that's a question that a lot of guys do. I know they might not have the balls to say it, but I know that they.
what we got here, 3rd and 8. Looks like we're getting a little crossers.
Wow.
Oh, boy. I think I must be behind you guys a little bit because you're seeing stuff a couple seconds before me, but...
Another thing that I think is a factor is the people that you hear about abusing stuff. They're not really among the people that are quote unquote elite. So I mean, in a sense, they've got to try something, I guess, to try and bridge the gap.
Stokes will tell you this. It's been my experience in Madden. I took about a Madden and a half off, but when I was playing a lot, I was considered one of the better players. You get to a certain level running money plays and over abusing concepts, you can get to a point where you can beat a good portion of the guys. But if that's all you know how to do, you are severely limited because you look at this playoff field. There's not a guy that's going to make this tournament that doesn't know how to shut down everything that's overpowered in Madden. They might not know it's coming, but once they do, it's going to be locked up. You got to have a counterpunch. Here comes a nice screenplay, very nice screenplay. 3 blockers out in front. Random spin move's going to cost them a first down. Gotta love it.
Unnecessary spin.
Well,
Just trust your blocks.
Cody is he came, he inboxed me. Those guys are hypocrites. Of course, I asked too. He said the guys who complain about people spamming stuff. So
yeah, I agree. I think AFL needs to get back to
no moistening.
Yeah, we're similar. Oh, there's a holding call, so don't be dumb, Vane. Just throw it away. Thank you. Cyrus Quanjo's getting some PT.
I noticed him too.
Wow. Desperate times in New England, apparently. Who needs a slow, weak tackle with bad injury?
Quanjo.
That's quite... If Quanjo is your starting right tackle, that's quite the Quanjo quandary. Check it down, or, just take a sack. That's cool. 2nd and 31.
This is when Madden gives you that 2-man under defensive holding. This is a situation I would never call 2-man under.
This is where if I had Gronkowski, I'm just throwing him deep and hoping that I get an animation. And I'll do it twice. I don't even care. You have him on your team. Nope, he's going on a crosser.
Wow. Oh.
Is this happening? Is this real life?
Dog.
Wow. Dive on.
Hell of a throw.
Wow.
Jeebus.
Okay. How about Reese's user attacked Gronkowski, who was doing about a 10-yard crossing route on 2nd and 31. Why would you put 4 guys on the 10-yard crossing route?
I mean, he called cover 4, so if he was going to run into the guy on the flat, jeez Louise.
Stokes, where does guys controlling a person as their user but not understanding what that guy's assignment on the play rank in your level of frustration?
This whole game has been a bunch of frustration to me. I mean, it's been fun to watch and commentate, but it's difficult to watch at the same time. Vert life.
You know who I feel bad for is RBD. He's got to be a nervous wreck if he's outside of family time. Oh yeah, times are tough. Let's run the verts.
He knows he needs 3 points, so
season's on the line. When in doubt,
yeah. Playbook shrinks just a bit.
Mm-hmm. Just a bit. He also has another play called Verts Flipped. See? What I thought? Oh, never mind. Oh, that would have been great. All right. Now,
have you seen the show Billions?
Billions?
Billions.
Heard about it.
Mm-mm.
It's listen, you need to watch it. It's really good. Sorry, God.
2nd and 1, tackle over. Nope, going to go I-form pro. If he's going to run the ball, it's either going to be a toss or a fullback dive because I don't think Reese has much confidence in his running game at this point.
Good stuff.
Vane's got the fullback dive on lock. He didn't call the play I expected, though. He just pretty much blitzed everybody. My guess is Reese saw he was blitzing everybody. Reese is going to adjust the pass. Vane's not going to adjust, and we'll see if he gets sacked before Reese can make the throw. Did I call that or what?
Have we figured out who has the win or who has a little bit of win?
Let's see. The win was against Vane in the first quarter, so it's against Vane now. Okay. So Reese has it as back. Is Reese chewing clock at this point? I guess he has to. There's no reason to.
Oh, money play.
A slant under and out and up.
Oh my!
Don't let it in like this, mama. Oh boy.
Ooh, I thought that was going to be an interception.
And so did the 4 Patriots that it bounced off of. What else you got besides the slant and the out and up and the verts? Oh, the corner post. Corner post, or corner, Stokes.
Wow.
Oh, my.
And celebration time in Houston, boys, as we are a minute 9 away from Reese's season coming to an end.
That stupid challenge. Sham said it.
Okay, Stokes, very important question. Vane has not had any success running the ball. Do you run the ball here, make him burn his timeouts, give him the ball back with like 40 seconds, or do you just make your entire goal to get a first down, even if it means throwing the ball?
Reese only has 2 timeouts.
Yeah,
he burned it with the challenge, so he's going to get it at like 20 seconds left. I would just run the ball.
We'll see what happens. Reese is run committing, and that's a backbreaker. You run commit, and you still give up 6 yards. Okay, so you figure the next 2 plays take 5 seconds apiece. Yep. If Vane just runs, and punts, Reese will have about 15 seconds left.
Man, oh man.
Come on, Vane. Or come on, Reese. I'm not really rooting. I don't know what I'm hoping for here. I'm kind of hoping for Vane to do something stupid.
Well, I picked Vane to win, and
Guys, we're gonna talk about the implications of this win or lose, because Reese is a controversial guy, and if he loses this game, we're gonna dig into that as soon as the game ends.
Please don't pass. There you go. Yes.
Well, I think Reese. I watched a lot of streams, and Reese definitely had chances in a lot of his games this season. So it's pretty much on him for just even being in this position.
So, guys, assuming Vane is content to take some knees here, a disappointing, bitter ending for the Miami Dolphins and Reese. All he had to do was win a game against one of his 2 nemesis, and couldn't get it done. Was the Cheesin game before the pick 6 game? Did Reese lose 3 out of 4 to end the season? I think that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So in the last 4 weeks, the only win Reese got was against Luka in a forced win. Loses the cheese, no shame in that. Loses the pick, no shame in that, in a vacuum. But then when you couple it with also losing to Vane when you only needed one of those games to go your way, on a week when you're chirping at guys in the playoffs that don't get it done, you're going to wind up watching the playoffs on the outside looking in. Not a good look, Stokes. Like we got to call it like it is. Not a good look.
Not a good look at all. I mean, he panicked. He threw it at Vane like he wasn't holding triangle. Basically, it's just so many of these plays this game has really boggled my mind. And Reese has no one to blame but himself in this game. So
and
he's going to go into next season having been swept by Vane. And I mean, what can he say to Vane? He lost 6 straight to him. Right?
So, okay, we've focused on the negative. Let's talk about the positive. RVD makes the playoffs.
I called it. I said I wanted to see him in the playoffs, and he's there.
Somebody message RVD and see if he wants to come on here and talk about his victory.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah.
We getting a fest going? Oh.
No.
Nope. Reese is on suicide watch. It looks kind of like Luka. Well, And Vane is not letting off the gas pedal. But guys, you know,
drag racing.
I'm all about being classy in wins or losses. Reese brings this on himself. He takes personal shots at Vane and pick six every day, every single day. I like Reese. I think he brings a lot to the league. But when you lose, especially to these guys, anything that they do or say, it's all your fault.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So, wow, RVD is making the playoffs. So, Stokes, you have a matchup here against RVD. Let's take a look at RVD's season stats here with the Houston Texans. He's had a fun schedule. He's a guy that a lot of us weren't really looking at as far as, oh, he's probably not going to make a lot of noise. He's got E-Dub in his division, SJR in his division. Those guys, they make the playoffs on a regular basis. You know, RVD struggled in AFL 16. Didn't get the best team in the draw. Just, you know, a decent team in Houston. 9-7 going to the tournament. Let's see. Let's take a look at RVD's schedule because I think he's had some really close games. Week 1, lost to Cody 20-17. Week 2, yeah, I mean, every game on his schedule seems like it was a close game. He had a 1-point victory over Trump. That game came down to the last play of the game. Trump was on like the 5-yard line. No, I'm sorry. He had a 1-point victory over. Oh, that was a forced win over Costa's Panthers. He had a 5-point victory over Trump. Trump was on like the 5-yard line, couldn't punch it in. Had a 3-point victory over Luca. He blew out E-Dub in what was one of the more surprising games of the year. The game I thought was really going to end his season, though, was he lost 34-31 in overtime to Justin King's Bengals. That was fresh off a bye week after the blowout over E-Dub. Just as I was starting to think, man, RVD may have turned this around, comes out and lays an egg against the Bengals. But he responds with 2 wins after that, beats Sham's Jets and beats Guru's Saints. Ends up smashing Matt Vane, who Reese just lost to. Beat Luca. That may have been Luca on being away. Did have the tough game against E-Dub week 16, losing 24-10, which put him in a must-win situation against SJR's Jaguars. And now that we know the result of the Reese Vane game, that was a game of win and you're in, wins 34-13. So Stokes, you're gonna get RVD round 1.
I'm not excited about this at all. I mean, he's got a good defense, and as I've said multiple times, when he and I match up, it seems like what I call doesn't stop him, and I just can't get anything going effectively on offense. So I'm not looking forward to this matchup. I'm going out there to win, but it's going to be difficult, I expect.
He's got a little bit of a 2-quarterback system going on, although it looks like as the season went on, it became more of the RG3 show in Houston. Neither one of these guys lit it up as far as a touchdown to interception ratio. That's certainly something that RVD is going to have to, be on top of against the Raiders. You don't want to go into a game against Stokes and start turning the ball over. Arian Foster was a nice midseason pickup. He stabilized the running game. Nothing special, 3.7 yards per carry, but there were some big runs in there. RVD's not a guy that's really comfortable running the ball. Strong and Hopkins, though, are his 2 weapons on the outside. If you leave them one-on-one, RVD is not afraid to throw it up. Both of these guys had more than 900 yards. Hopkins with 11 touchdowns. Also has the very fast James Hanna at tight end, so a lot of weapons to cover there in Houston. But as Sham has mentioned, this team makes its hay on the defensive side of the ball. J.J. Watt, 10 sacks. Whitney Merciless, 6 sacks. DeForest Buckner, his first-round pick, 8 sacks. So you got Buckner, you got Merciless, you got Clowney, you got J.J. Watt, just a bunch of guys on the front 7 who can get to the quarterback and stop the run. If you talk about Vince Wilfork, they play good defense in Houston. They're not going to light you up offensively, but Stokes, this is kind of where Reese is more of I'm going to spread you out, throw it all over the yard, try to outscore you. RVD is a little more similar to you, where he's going to come in, try not to make mistakes, rely on his defense, and see who has the lead at the end of the game.
Yep, I mean that's what I'm expecting. I think that if I can get a 7-10 point lead early, I think that that'll put a lot of pressure on him and be in the playoffs. I think he may overplay it a bit, or at least that's what I would be expecting, and I can give him to make a couple of mistakes. So I'm just hoping to start strong, uh, get something on my first drive, and hopefully get him stopped. So I know it's going to be tough. I'm not looking forward to running against that team, but if I am able to run the ball like I expect to, that'll give me a lot more confidence because that defensive front is pretty ridiculous.
I'm going to circle back to my game against RVD because, Stokes, you and I, you're a better runner than I am, but we both like to run the ball. If memory serves, I'm thinking I struggled to run the ball against that front and had to throw it more that game. I'm just going to go look and see. That might be a good point of reference. I'm not saying that just because I struggled that all of a sudden it means you're going to struggle, but definitely something to keep in mind. That front and Sham's front just gave me no room in the running game if memory is correct. Let's take a look at the box score. It was 20-17, a game that I very easily could have lost if Percy Harvin didn't come out and play beast mode. No, I had 122 rushing yards, so it wasn't like it was. He shut me down. Yeah, all my guys kind of contributed 30-30, 25-25. So I'm looking forward to it, Stokes. We got what we think is going to be KJ against Cheese, which can steal the show anytime those guys play. We're going to have Prime against JD. I'm very much looking forward to that game. Prime's a guy that I think could make a deep run. And then on the AFC side, we have Cody against Edub and you against RVD. When you think about Cody and Edub, Cody's a guy that kind of dragged his feet into the playoffs, where Edub went on a nice little streak to get into the playoffs. I think Cody's roster is better, and I think Cody has the ability to play with Edub, but right now he seems like he's in a funk.
I think he's checked out. I think that Edub, I think he's on a roll, and he's won 7 out of 8 or something like that. And I expect him to win that game. I think Cody, he'll have the defense to stay in the game, but I don't think he's going to be able to move the ball with any consistency against Edub.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Edubs to me is a guy that, and I hate to say this because we're both in the AFC, but he's a guy that, even though he's playing on Wild Card Weekend, is fully capable of going on a run here and winning it all.
Yeah, I kept him out of the Super Bowl when we were in the NFC together. I'll try to do the same here if I get the opportunity.
If you guys are still watching the live stream feed, Joker has requested that we go over and check out the meaningless game between.
The game's a blowout, I believe.
Who's blowing out who?
Nino. When I checked in briefly, it was 21-3 Vikings.
I think KJ is working on a new playbook, and I got the impression he wasn't going to show Nino anything tonight.
I mean, everything about everything. Well, no, not everything, but most of the NFC is just locked up.
21-10, Vikings over the Packers. The Vikings have the ball and driving here at the end of the second quarter.
Now, when you say new playbook, do you mean the 6 plays that KJ will run all game?
I didn't say that. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying. I don't,
You can't be attacking the Han tree like that, bruh.
Yeah,
I honestly haven't played KJ in this Madden. I know he gets a little bit of a rep as a guy that, abuses corner routes and Z spots and stuff like that, but when I watch his streams, I don't really see much different than any other stream I watched. I don't really sit there and watch him and go through him like a fine-tooth comb. I might just be missing something, but yeah.
No, KJ and I, we just do, dads with each other every now and then.
Yeah, guys, I'm not going to stick with this game. There's just not enough on the line to keep my interest. I mean, both of these guys are going to the playoffs, so if they get a rematch in the playoffs, it'll certainly be must-see TV. But right now, it's just two teams that are trying to get to the playoffs without any injuries. I guess Nino's trying to get the tournament to come through Minnesota, which I think that's worth playing for. I wouldn't be too excited about going to Seattle to play the Seahawks.
I mean, did you guys watch the Prime and Bailey game? I
didn't. I heard about it though.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if Bailey sat his guys because from looking at the score, it was all Prime.
Yeah, I know Prime was. How much do I want to say here? Well, he was trying out some new plays, but I don't know if
Bailey played all those guys.
And I heard Prime also sat a bunch of his guys too. So
he started Carson Palmer,
which may have been an upgrade.
I still think it is. I think Hackenberg is going to lose him a game.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about
the only game he's able to lose in the playoffs, I guess.
You're talking about going against JD's defense, and if you win, then you're going to play against either the Hawks and Bailey, or you're going to play against Nino. You need a quarterback out there that's not going to throw a UFO, which is an unidentified flying object, Stokes, in case you were wondering.
I've forgotten. I'm glad you brought it up.
Anytime, buddy.
So he just posted that he's going to go with the Carson.
He did?
Yeah. Just now.
This is like on the level of the Bills riding Doug Flutie to the playoffs, and then Rob Johnson wins a Week 17 game where all the starters were rested for Jacksonville or for Indianapolis, and Wade Phillips is like, "Hey, I have a good idea. We're going to go with Rob Johnson." Although Wade was the scapegoat for that, it was a Ralph Wilson call.
Damn it, Ralph!
Freaking Ralph makes me want to Ralph.
I saw the little statues when I was at the Ralph for the Giants game.
What if you were KJ? If you lose this game, either way you're playing Cheesin, and either way you're the 6th seed, correct? Yes. KJ's the 6th seed?
Yes.
So KJ's thinking if he wins this game, he would play. So he's playing Cheesin regardless. So take Cheesin out of the equation. If KJ can win this game, he would play Bailey in the second round.
No. If he loses, no.
Nino's
gonna get the 1 seed if he wins.
Oh yeah, if KJ wins this game,
he would get Bailey would get the 1 seed.
Yeah, so he would play Bailey in the second round.
Correct.
So I'm not trying to take a shot at Bailey. I know he's good, and he's also got the Hawks, which can't be ignored. But in a playoff situation, if I'm KJ, that'd be motivation enough for me to try. I mean, if you could
think, well, maybe he just feels more comfortable playing Nino because he doesn't have to combat the potential throwing at Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman factor.
It's true.
That's scary. Anytime you send the ball, that's scary.
Yeah, whenever I watch Nino play, he doesn't seem like he does anything tricky. He plays really smart, makes great reads, and his defensive adjustments are, I almost want to say, second to none.
Yeah, I think that is one of his most endearing factors, the fact that he's not gonna make the play to lose the game. He's gonna put you in a position where you're gonna have to make a play to win, and he's going to stop you. More often than not. So I think that's what separates him is the fact that he understands that, hey, I don't need to make this big play. If it's there, I'll take it. If it's not, then it's whatever. I'll just play defense. So I think that's one of the things that a lot of us forget. And we mentioned it last time, a punt is not a bad thing.
Especially when you know how to play defense.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Who you like? Prime or JD? Start with you. Sham, who do you like?
In this case, I'm going to go with Prime.
Stokes, you're going, if your prediction is still the same from earlier.
Boy. See, I think Prime has made a lot of strides with the way he's running offense. I think that him going with Carson Palmer is going to be the deciding factor. I think as long as he doesn't take Carson Palmer out if he has one bad throw, I think that Prime will win the game.
What do you think about if JD gets up early? Old Prime from a couple Maddens ago could tend to pull a little bit of a Reese if he gets behind early. I don't know if that's still the case with Prime.
Man, that is absolutely a factor. I mean, in the Super Bowl, the wheels just came off of Prime. And that was it got all bad. So, I think that JD is more equipped to play from behind than Prime. I would definitely agree with that. I think that JD does have an even keel about him when it comes to playing the game. So I think that if Prime is able to get ahead, that would be a lot more conducive to a Prime victory than it would be if he's playing from behind.
I think
I,
both of these guys are capable of going on a deep run. I like what you said about JD's even keel. He's not going to light up the scoreboard, but he knows his bread and butter is on defense, and he's not going to make the mistake on offense to cost himself a chance at winning a game, especially when Matt Ryan's out and Nick Foles is in. Who do you like? And Sham, what were you getting ready to add?
well, no, I was just going to say the fact that the reason why I'm giving Prime the because normally I would just go with JD because of the sound defense, but I think with Prime running the ball as effectively as he has been over the past couple of weeks, that's why I'm giving him the nod. And the fact that JD having Julio Jones, is a plus, but he's going against the number one, as far as turnover differential, number one team, and in the Cardinals, I just don't see any way JD can pull it out unless Prime makes, just Super Bowl, the same mistakes he made in the Super Bowl.
Like a little bit of a snowball becomes an avalanche.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's talk about the other side of the bracket in the NFC.
1 second.
Go
I've
ahead.
got to call in some Chinese food. 1 second.
What are you ordering us?
Shrimp made fun and shrimp. You got
There you
one
go.
for that?
Are you gonna put it in pots and pans and like try to convince Ginny that you made it?
No, James picking it up. So
Oh.
Hey, buddy,
can't trigger.
I had beef chow fung tonight for dinner.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but
let's have a Chinese food. It's because we're black. I understand.
I had a turkey burger for dinner.
Oh,
wow.
nice.
That's all right. What was I going to? Oh, is there any conversation you guys have picked up on that any of these playoff games could get played tonight?
I haven't heard anything yet. I should ask right now since I'm talking. I'm actually talking to Prime right now.
Cody's already been in my PM saying he's asking if we're advancing tonight, but Cody and Edub are both kind of early bedtime guys. I would be pretty surprised if that game got in. I would say though that if Stokes and RVD had a shot, although Stokes has Ginny time to account for.
Well, actually, if Edub hasn't been drinking, he'd be good to go tonight.
4th and 15, Packers are going to punt. Yeah, guys, it looks like NFC playoffs are going to be going through Minnesota, barring a Nino collapse here.
I would love to see Prime and Nino go at it again.
Yeah, there are so many intriguing matchups on the NFC side. And normally I hate rematches and the fact that we've seen, Cheese and KJ play so many times, but those two guys are so even as far as skill level, but so different as far as play style that I love watching them play.
Well, like I said, when Cheese, he has, a game that can pretty much match anybody from what I've seen. To me, Cheese is elite. He just, when he's down, I've seen him come back, come from behind before, but I think that a lot of times in games where it kind of snowballs, on him, and he just, it gets all bad. He just gets one dimensional. When he just has when games when he's passing, for 30 times, it's pretty, but then when he's passing and, he's losing, he just doesn't, he forgets to run the ball. It just looks all bad. So, I just want him to, I want to see him actually just put, a complete package together. I even said to him earlier, you need to win the bowl.
He's got a shot. It's going to have to win 4 games to do so because he didn't get that bye. What Nino just did, he took a sack, is something that was missing in that Reese Vane game. You take a sack, it's 3rd and 18. You probably aren't going to move the chains here and get a first down, although maybe he will. He's not. So, but
he threw the ball before the sticks.
Yeah. But what Nino did on the previous play is he had 2 corner routes, and they were both covered. They looked like there could have been a window there, but there was a guy underneath, and to me, I'm thinking to myself, if he throws it, it's a pick, and I'm kind of waiting for him to throw it, and he just stood there, didn't throw it, and took a sack, and now he's punting, and instead of KJ getting the ball at Nino's 10, he's getting the ball at the 40-yard line and has to go 60 yards for a touchdown, and that's what Stokes has been saying. Don't be afraid to punt.
Indeed.
Did you order our food, Stokes?
I did. It'll be ready in 15 minutes. So
Sweet.
if you leave now, you can get there.
I love me some crab rangoon.
I don't like cream cheese.
Really?
Oh.
Ugh.
Uncovered running back there. Nino's not going to let that fly, though. I guess he is going to let that fly.
Yeah, Josh hit me with a couple of those last game. Jerk.
I mean, Jeff Dimp's out there by himself.
You know what's crazy is I saw it coming, and I would switch from man to zone, and the guys just would not get out there. And I'm like, really? Are you guys this dumb? And I literally broke my TV. I almost broke my TV.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you said almost.
Whoa.
It's
Well,
like,
hey,
Sham,
look.
you were like 4-11 going into that game. I hope you really didn't break your TV after.
This was the last straw.
You know, it's certain. I'll say this: it's certain guys. I won't lie. It's certain guys that, regardless of whatever my record is, I look forward to playing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Josh is definitely one of those guys. Like, you know, the first couple of times, you know, I haven't played him in a minute. So when I played him earlier this season, you know, he smoked my boots. Second go around, it was pretty much the same thing, but I started to catch on to what he was doing. You know, and it was just like, you know, okay, I found a couple of defensive plays, little sets that, you know, will kind of maybe not stop him per se, but it will at least look, wow. It will slow him down. What was that? What was that?
Cobb.
Sweet Jesus.
So what you're saying is about 4 or 5 more times, and you'll be good to go against Jeff.
Hey, listen, Stokes. Listen,
Hope I don't adjust.
Just know when I play you against Stokes, I won't shit the bed.
I like playing you, Sham. Not because I had 2 blowout victories. I mean, I like that. But overall, I enjoy playing you because it's a different style. You don't run the money plays. You don't run the OP stuff. You run different stuff. It's hard to catch on to. We had games that I felt were a lot closer than the score ended up bearing out. The first game was just stupid. It was one of those games where, yeah, I won by a blowout, but it was like tipped pick, holding, pick. It was just like, all right, this is not Sham's night. Let's just get this game over with.
I mean, you know what's crazy is a lot of. I can take a loss, but it's like some of this Madden shit. But like some of this like Madden shit, all you can do is laugh. I don't like take much into it. Like I won't get all salty and create crazy posts. But it's just some of this Madden shit. It's just like really mad. You're doing it like in that first game, Josh. I think that first drive, I think you had 5 holding calls in a row. Or like every other player was a holding call. Every time like you would run, all right, boom, you get maybe 5 or 6 yards, and then you'll pass holding.
Yeah, Incognito really struggled with Richardson that game. Really did. His run block is like 98, but his pass block is like 96. So every time I'd pass, Richardson would just eat his lunch. Stokes, how do you react after a loss, like a playoff loss, the Nino Super Bowl? You're a chill guy as far as what we get to see on Facebook and how you react. You either get quiet or you just kind of say good game. But how's if a fly was on the wall of your house, how mad would Stokes be after a loss in a big game? Wow, silent treatment.
Wow.
He probably doesn't want to talk about it. I take it he's going to get the Chinese food.
I think.
I've returned. Sorry.
What's up, Stokes?
Hey.
We voted you off the island.
Damn it.
We were talking about how guys react after losses and how some guys wear their hearts on their sleeve on Facebook, and you can almost kind of set your watch to, oh, he just lost a heartbreaking game, this is going to get interesting. And then there's some guys you just never see any kind of salt out of them as far as what we get to see. So I was just asking you, so what's it like if I was a fly on your wall after that Nino Super Bowl or after you lose a playoff game or a big game? How does Stokes handle it in the privacy of his own home, not on Facebook?
I'm really even keeled about when if I lose a Super Bowl. It's mostly because I've won a lot more. So it's like, well, I just didn't win this one. I mean, that's really honestly how it goes.
I'm just so good; they all blend together.
It's just a matter of sometimes the things don't go well. I mean, when Nino stopped me on a run commit and I ran a toss, I mean, I just shrugged like, well, that's just it. Because I mean, I got what I wanted. I got him to commit. I got the outside run play, and he was just able to make the play. So,
What's a tougher loss for you, when you lost a playoff game to Matt Vane, or when you lose to Nino? Because with Nino, there's a little added dynamic there. You two are pretty much generally considered 1A and 1B in this league.
sorry, 1 second, my dog's recording.
Oh, it's all good.
I mean, the one thing I can say is that burns me up about guys after, like, when guys don't feel, like, like, listen, the way Madden is set up now, everybody can lose. And when guys would be in your PM, like, what, like, dude, everybody can lose at any point in time in this fucking game. You're not the only one that feels however you feel. Like, like shit happens.
Yeah, it depends who it is. Like, if I'm playing you, or I'm playing Magic, or I'm playing Stokes, or RPD, or something like that, and, and one of us is venting to the other one, it's different. Like, I've known you guys for, 6 years now, and, we're just, like, friends talking about a game at that point.
Right.
But some of these guys, like, they come to your PM like, man, you got so lucky, like, 25 holding calls, and you go look at the stats, and it was, like, 3. And, it's like, I had so many pass interference calls. They had, like, 40 yards total penalties. And it's like, I had, like, 6 fumbles, and they had none. And it's just like, yeah, you're right, Madden screwed you. I've younger Josh used to be like, man, get out of here. And now I'm just like, yeah, you had some tough breaks. I just don't have any interest in that conversation. It's kind of like, I don't need you to tell me that Madden is random. I play this game. I've played this game. I've watched this game. I realize there's a lot of stuff that happens that's out of your control. And there's times when you can call the perfect play, have a guy wide open, and you throw it to him, and it goes 10 yards out of bounds, and there is nothing that you could have done with your joystick to prevent that from happening, as that is a huge fumble there, and it looks like the Packers now are going to lose this game as KJ was driving to tie it up. And there's times when you throw a pass into triple coverage, and you had no business completing it, and you catch it, and you score. And we're all participants in this game, and for people that lose, to constantly, every time they lose, remind you of all the things that went against them, it's just like, let it go, man.
That's why I miss the chat days, where it was just like, when that type of shit would happen, guys would just be kind of put on blast in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Let it go. It happens.
I miss the chat in a sense that, we got the faces. Those were great, but I don't miss the chat in the fact that unless someone print screened the convo, you couldn't see it again.
Mm-hmm.
With the Facebook, I mean, you obviously get to see the whole conversation, unless of course someone deletes the thread. But I mean, I miss the chat, and I don't miss the chat for those reasons.
I mean, Stokes. I mean, it was really like the wild west. Like, before you got there. I mean, it was just as bad, but like, on some level, it was horrible. Like, I remember I think Costa had broke up with his girlfriend or some shit
no.
and that situation. I mean, it was so random. Like, somebody came up with a drawing. It was just like
it wasn't somebody. It was me.
I mean, it was just so random. Like, the brick, telling Hanum about, hit him with a brick. That it was just so random, and that's what it was. But at the same time, it was just genuine. It was just, in its randomness, it was just genuine. Now it's just like, dude, like, okay, I'm over it.
I think what's interesting, Sham, about AFL is, it's still a fun league. It's definitely still a fun league. It's evolved into a better league. But the way it was when we first met each other, the circumstances with BDFL folding and us just like throwing a shit ton of us together and having some real personalities, and the fact that when we first met, a lot of us were either in college or, living the single life, and, could be on PlayStation and on chat from the time we got home from work until like 2 a.m, and then we go to work with red eyes the next morning because all we did was play Madden and talk about Madden. To now, it's like half of us have kids, the other half are guys like Stokes that have a wife now, and we're all working full-time jobs. Most of us are out of college for the most part, and it's just funny how like we've all kind of collectively grown up together.
True. Listen, I remember when the hatred for V was real. Actually, it's still real.
Oh, dude. She jumped in a volcano. She's got some real life issues going on in her life, though. I do wish her nothing but the best, because she's in a little tricky pickle these days. Well, KJ has a shot.
Well, listen, it was a win for you. After it happened, it took you a second to get over it. Next thing you know, you met Red.
Red is a godsend. Wide open post route. Oh, tripped up at the ankles. Yeah, that was kind of weird too because honestly, I was dating Vanessa for 5 or 6 years, and it was one of those things where like a lot of guys know this. A lot of people know this. When a relationship ends, generally it's like it's kind of sad, but it's also like a breath of fresh air because it's like, man, that thing sucked for the last year, so let's get out of it. I was really looking forward to the single life. Like, had my own place, had a good job, really felt like I could live up the single life. And then, as luck would have it, and I'm happy about it, like, I met Jackie. She was, like, the third or fourth girl I went out with. And I was like, well, shit, I like this one.
Lady killer over here.
You player.
No big deal.
I mean, that was one night, of course, right?
Third or fourth girl that night. She was my 2 a.m.
Oh, tell Red that she's missed on the radio shows. I miss Red's voice on the radio shows.
Oh, she'll come on the show. She goes to bed around 9 o'clock, though. She's
stuff that QBC pretty well there.
Yeah, I think I'll do it again, too, if KJ decides to run it.
Please don't. I hate the QB sneaking full like that.
What if A-Rod gets hurt on a QB sneak in what's a meaningless game for KJ?
Ooh.
That'd be hilarious.
Mm-hmm. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. I think he's scorching fast, personally.
Yeah, I agree. But
I mean, he can't dictate how he got to the 1 yard line, I guess.
Yeah, and there's no guarantee he's going to get this 2-pointer, and there's just a lot of factors here. And it's a guy like Nino, so do you really want to take it to fourth down and hope you get in? As you know, Stokes, if you only have one shot from the 2 yard line against Nino, it can be tricky.
That's very true.
All right. What is this?
I don't like this formation.
Single back jumbo, or what is this? This is not. Gonna, this isn't going to work. I know that. That's.
That was awful.
Well, he still has a 3 timeout, so.
That's good.
Yep.
Oh, jerk face.
Have either of you recovered an onside kick in this Madden? I haven't, and I haven't seen one recovered.
I lost the game 1-1.
Really?
Yeah. I was completely shocked that it had happened, but it bounced to hit my guy in his chest, and the guy I was playing got it. Very disappointing.
How about you, Sham?
I think the 2 times that I've done it, I thought it was once. I remember it was when I played Bailey in the first season of for this Madden, and Perryman, he scored a touchdown. I got a onside kick. Next thing you know, he scored another touchdown, onside kick, got it again, but I shit the bed, got to the
shit.
So it did it.
I definitely prefer it this way versus how it was. It felt like, I think, Madden 13, where it almost felt like if you were the receiving team and you...
That was just bad. All bad, Kelly. All bad.
Yep. And that'll do it. That'll wrap us up here in Lambeau as the Vikings are going to take the NFC North, which they already had, and lock up the 1 seed, which means we can go ahead and say it. If KJ beats Cheese, KJ will get a rematch between these 2 NFC North teams, only it will be in Minnesota. If Cheese beats KJ, Cheese will be traveling to Seattle as the Giants take on the Seahawks. Cheese against Bailey. Both of those matchups are very interesting.
So we can advance after this game, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. We want to make sure we get Edub's force win in because, not that it really matters, but Luca messaged me today and said he couldn't play. I'll go up there and get everything squared away unless you want to.
You can go ahead, Jenny.
I'll go double check and make sure everything's cool. I'm gonna post to the dudes, to the peeps, to the bros, to the homies that we are ready to advance. To the players.
Yeah.
To the crew.
Ah!
Are you guys gonna play tonight?
I don't think so. I've got an exam at 7:45.
Who gives a shit? Play your game. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Hold up. I'm saying this like, not that I have a game, but I have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning to prepare for, putting packages together for people to eat. So,
cool. Could be worse. You could have a playoff game in the schedule, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Sham's such a good Samaritan.
Oh shoot.
I mean, actually, no. This is like not even. This is my job too. So, I do. It's what I do, and also I do it in my free time as well. So.
Okay, so for the guys that are listening, once we advance to the playoffs, you can start posting trades. I haven't made this official on Facebook, but only one person fired themselves, which means nobody fired themselves. There's not going to be any coaching changes. Unless maybe something we talked about yesterday happens.
Not that it matters, but who fired themselves? I just want to know so I can just crack a joke.
I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
That's it, fellas. This was fun. A little impromptu stream. Everybody, good luck in the playoffs, and we'll be back at the end of the season to talk about the eventual Super Bowl champ, and hopefully we can get the guy to come on Skype and tell us about his journey. And
hopefully we can get another commentator game going on here.
Well, yeah, hopefully, Stokes, neither you or I are in the Super Bowl, and we can commentate on it. That's something to hope for.
Yeah, well, wait.
Wait, what?
Wait.
Okay, Stokes, you can't pick yourself. Yeah, pick a Super Bowl. Who's it going to be?
Can't pick. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh versus Seattle. I can't pick Nino.
Who's going to win?
Seattle.
Bailey gets a Super Bowl. Bailey is the king of restart leagues. This one will certainly not have an asterisk, though. Sham, give me a Super Bowl.
Zona.
You can pick the Raiders, so you know.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I don't like you. Zona, Zona Bills.
Who wins?
Zona.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna go. Gotta do it, guys. Guy's just clutch. And now he's got home field advantage. I'm gonna go with Nino, and I think it's gonna be rematch city of AFL. I know I'm going on a huge limb here. Rematch city of AFL 16 final season. Stokes against Nino, and I think it would be fitting for this season to come down to Stokes against Nino because they had a rematch in the regular season, and it was the biggest cock tease we've ever seen as it ended in a tie. Yeah. So in the Super Bowl, there will not be a tie, and I would say this time around, my guy Stokes finds a way to bring home the hardware.
Let's do it.
And not get the trophy that Sham was suggesting. All right, fellas, enjoy the playoffs. It should be a fun couple days here in AFL. We will, in the next couple days, be posting an off-season schedule and a draft date, and we're going to keep rolling. It's not going to be like a former AFL where, we wait a week and a half to have the draft. We're going to try to expedite this process and keep everything going because in April, every day off is one day closer to the league just blowing up. So, guys, it was fun. Thanks for coming on short notice.
Yeah.
All right, talk to you guys later. Enjoy your Chinese food, Stokes.
Yes.
Give Ginny our love.
Hey, now.
I mean that in a platonic kind of Josh says hi. Tell her Josh says hi. She'll know what that means.
Wait, what? Hey.
I mean, it means Josh says hi.
Oh,
Ginny. Sure. Ginny and I are Facebook friends, Sham.
Ah.
Yeah.
Watch out for that, Stokes.
And you and Red are Facebook friends.
That's my boo.
Now, Sham or Stokes, are you friends with Red on Facebook?
No, I haven't hit the ad print because I don't want the disappointment if I get rejected.
No, she likes you, Stokes. She goes back to Rocket League when we were all kind of first starting to play that game, and she realized right off the bat that you were the best one of our group, and she was like, "I want to play with Stokes." And then she usually also likes your comments. She thinks you're funny. I don't get it. I think you're kind of lame, but she thinks you're funny.
Whoa, I am very amusing.
Mm-hmm. She also thinks Magic's funny, and we cannot let him find out.
No.
Well, too late for that.
Listening.
But I'd say of the AFL guys, she's certainly, well, with the exception of me, obviously, because I liked it and I put a ring on it. Ayo. But she's closest with Sham. I'll give you that, Sham. All right. Enough pillow talk. AFL playoffs are about to begin in about T-minus 5 minutes. Later, dudes.